Hey y'all, just making this recipe here, lemon tahini. This is I've seen it on the internet and I thought the kind I liked would be on the interwebs, but it's a certain kind I knew and so I went to look on the internet for the recipe and everyone's giving the lemon tahini dressing. So this is probably a different version of it, and it's from the Wishbone Restaurant, inspired by that in Chicago, which is kind of a little bit of you might call it a comfort food place. Fantastic food, and it's a bigger place. It's fun, but the food quality is great. Always packed. I don't know if it's still there. It's near Harpo Studios, which is Oprah's studios, on like Congress or something. But that was 20 years ago, if more than that. So, anyways, they had this dressing there. This lemon tahini, it was called. And people would go crazy for it, getting on their salad. And I would go there once a week, and then I would ask for it to take some home. And they're like, no, we're not going to give you. So one time they gave me a little cup. I'm like, oh, and I think I had to pay for that. So I used to eat like crazy. So it's made with tahini, which is crushed up sesame seeds, and some other ingredients. A few stalks of celery in a blender, about 9 lemons, the juice, and a red or green pepper. Maybe you throw one of the. Maybe you have to throw one of these in there. I do the red; it gives it more flavor. The green is fine too, though. It depends on what you want. And then some soy sauce. Don't get the low sodium. At the end, I put that in at the end. Okay, like after it's been whipped up and sitting, and then I stir it in as I need it to taste. They also asked for, I think they wanted the raw tahini in the dressing. I don't know. I had the recipe years ago. A friend of mine, Donna Chimino from Chicago. Hi, Donna. Wonderful gal. Found the recipe somehow. She went to some seminar and like the cook happened to have it. He was from there, from the Wishbone Restaurant. And she's like, you're never going to believe what we made tonight in my cooking class. And they asked for the tahini that was raw, but I've used both raw and toasted, and I think the toasted gives it a little more of a toasty flavor, like a roasted flavor. Either are fine. You'll have to experiment. So the point of this video was to kind of get this recipe up to 90%, and then maybe someone on the interwebs can show me what I'm doing wrong and post it in the comments. But anyways, so back to the recipe. Sorry. Lemons, a bunch. One of these babies in there. 5 or 6 celery stalks. Blend it up. They wanted white pepper. I use black because white to me smells like manure. But I put that in at the end also. I didn't put any salt. No garlic. And I don't know if you're supposed to put parsley or not. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So I'm doing this from memory. And the thing is, you'll see at the end, I got it about where I'm satisfied with where I got it. It's about 90% of what it tasted like, I recall. It could use, well, it actually is fine as it is. But I'm sure I think I need more oil or something like that. I think they use olive oil, I'm not sure. And there you go, man. I didn't put any wine or yogurt or anything. This is a clean tasting, dairy-free product. And it tastes Japanese, if you ask me, like something you get at a Japanese restaurant. Reminds me a little of that orange salad dressing you get, that really cool orange dressing that made with, looks like orange rinds or something, when you go to a Japanese restaurant, which I love. It's similar to that, actually. So I posted me making it and just whatever. The point is for you to get in there and like fix it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, but it's almost there. You'll love it. It beats the hell out of eating vinaigrette every day which I love, and ranch. I love salad, but I'm getting tired of my own cooking, man. So this brightens that up. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye. Okay, here's the tahini with all the stuff in there I listed. Now the only thing I'm missing is soy sauce, so I mixed that up. I mean, I guess I just put so much lemon juice in there. Like I put a whole entire at least an entire bag of lemons in there, the juice. So we're going to start adding some soy sauce. Here we go. Okay. This is where the salt comes from. That should be enough. Let's see. My dog is right down there. Has to get in my way. Okay. I'm going to try this and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so the good news is it's pretty much there. It needed a little more soy sauce. I put a little bit of sesame oil in there. I don't know why I did that, just to be cool. And I would say it's a little too much lemon juice, and it's bland as ever, but it's also rich. It's this, you know. So here we go. Yeah. So here's the consistency, and that'll thicken up a bit. Good luck with it. Get it to where it needs to be, because I certainly can't. I'm sorry, I just put my fingers in there. Sorry. All right, so here we go. This is, you can see what it looks like after a day, how thick it is. It thickened up a bit, and I'm just going to have this. It's great for lunch. I'm going to dip some of these vegetables in here. And it makes it great. I think it's even better as a salad dressing. Let's stir that up just a wee bit. Oh, I'm losing focus. And that'll be really good. And I got a little pork tenderloin there with some mushrooms and way too much black pepper. Hey, so some of the ingredients to put in here that they say. Celery, maybe half of the pack, maybe not quite, about 4 stalks, and then peppers. In the recipe they had, I recall them having green peppers, but I like to use red. Most people do, but I will tell you that the red does give it a little bit of a different flavor, more of a less fresh, more red peppery kind of just a little more flavor, but sometimes that green pepper was good in itself too. And when I said pepper, they also asked for white pepper, and I know that the recipe, that was the one thing asked for specifically, was white pepper. But last time I checked white pepper, I had white pepper, it tasted like manure. So I used black pepper. I didn't even use any this time. I'm trying to kind of see where I am, and I'm going to tweak it as I go. So in your container, just put in a blender, and you got to watch your liquid level so stuff will blend properly. If you know how you put too much of the dry stuff in and it never blends. So I use my lemon juice to that as a way to help with the water levels, right? Lemon juice and lots of lemons, about honestly 10 lemons, which is, by the way, rining 10 lemons is a great way to see if you have any cuts on your hands, because my hands were pretty raw after doing that. But I juiced like almost 10 lemons, the tahini, the about almost a red pepper worth in a blender, some celery stalks, no salt, no pepper, a little bit of sesame oil. I think they asked for olive oil instead, but I put sesame. Not that much, because I didn't want to stray from the flavor and have something ruin my palate and not let me research this properly. I'm trying to get it 90% there, and I don't want anything kind of, if I tasted nothing but sesame oil, right? That's kind of strong. So I used a little bit of safflower oil. I don't recall if they asked for oil or not, but I put a little in there. And it's basically, and then the key ingredient at the end, when it's all mixed up, I start adding soy sauce to taste. And I think that's the big difference between this and the other lemon tahinis, is the soy sauce. Okay, so whenever I have other lemon tahinis, it is a little too lemony and not enough bite to it. And the soy sauce and the peppers really give it that flavor. And that's why I'm putting this up there. I think it's a different kind of lemon tahini dressing. That's why you see it's a little bit reddish too. I didn't put any black pepper, no salt, and just make it so it's bland, and then add soy sauce to the mix and just keep tasting. And the soy sauce is what's going to bring out the really cool flavor. And I didn't use a low sodium one. Low sodium soy sauce, I've tried off every once in a 10-year, I'll get a bottle of that. I'm like, oh, this is why I don't buy that. It just doesn't have any flavor to it. The other thing, there's two kinds of tahini you can get. According to what my research was, the raw and the roasted, and they're both fine. I've used both. The raw makes it a little bit more raw, almost like the difference between a roasted peanut and a raw peanut. And they're both delicious, but that raw peanut has more of a earthy vegetable flavor, and the roasted has that toasty flavor. I think this same thing goes here. The roasted, a little bit more of a toasty flavor, more rich to a lesser degree than the whole peanut analogy. But there you go. So it lasts. I freeze half of it. It lasts for about 4 days in your fridge. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll get right back to you. All right. In closing, it came out okay. So I think I need to maybe a little more, put some oil in there. Any kind. I'm not sure. Maybe you could tell me. So thanks for watching.